Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have?
Because of the color of your skin, you are not being treated the same. This is not just a black issue. It's not just a Hispanic issue. This is an American issue that we should all care about. All fair-minded people should be concerned.
This is a man who was fueled by hate, fueled by ideology, and who targeted a New Yorker for simply the color of his skin.
How many days?
I paid the shit out, damn, I never met him in person. Get the freedom of my people, break the law when I curse it. Fuck them. Black robbers, they got me wishing I was white. Black robbers, they got me wishing I was white. I paid the shit out, damn, I never met him in person. Get the freedom of my people, break the law when I curse it. Fuck them. Black robbers, they got me wishing I was white. Black robbers, they got me wishing I was white. And black.
Yo, what's good? I was just giving y'all a little taste of that shit, let y'all know. Since everybody coming out with all these political ass songs now, biting my style. I ain't gonna say biting my style. I put that shit out last year. Don't nobody even know that shit out. But check it out. It's your boy Snake Plissky. Y'all know Order Out of Chaos. Still on the market. iTunes, Spotify, all major digital platforms. So go check me out. But I can't let y'all live with this Black Lives Matter. I can't let y'all live. I told y'all that this is a bullshit cause, and I'm not gonna let my people fall for that bullshit cause. So it's time for me to start venting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking my piece. Listen here, brother. We got a lot to grow up on, man. We have to let go of the past, man. The past is what it was. Past, over. You know what I'm saying, bro? Look, we got too many opportunities. We got big major stars, big major players on every platform in America. As a matter of fact, we have already made it to the presidency. So actuality, all of this is what they used to say. Remember, they used to be like that manufactured crisis, that shit they were saying. Well, that's what they're doing. They're manufacturing all these crises. So first of all, one big problem we got is COVID. For some odd reason, nobody's explaining why this strand keeps coming back and, you know, really infecting the population the way it's doing. You know, it's like it's never over. But it's over in all these other countries, but for some odd reason it can't end in America. Well, the reason this can't end is because of politics, bro. Nobody can tell you the truth about nothing that's going on. All of this stuff is just manufactured, man. The Black Lives Matter movement is a big transgender movement. Nobody's gonna tell you the truth about this. That's why when you see me this weekend, I'm gonna be doing my Zoom meetings and I'm gonna be talking about gematria. This is a practice from the Kabbalah, which states that God made letters, words, and numbers. Not in that particular order like that, but the key to what I'm trying to tell you is that every time you spell a word, it comes out to a number, and these numbers are being coded. And what they do is they make up a bunch of headlines. And for some odd reason, the headlines and the people that's in the headlines, all their numbers match up. And then these numbers match up with Freemasonry, the Vatican, Jewish Kabbalah, and every other secret society or cult that you can imagine. Okay? This is not fake. This is just completely real. Anybody can do this. You don't have to be an expert. You can start off real easy by just pulling up that calculator, gematrinator.com, and just start spelling words in there. Put your own name in there. See what your numbers are. Then take headlines. Look at the words in quotations. Put the quotation words in headlines. You'll see why 99 was all over the George Floyd murder. 99. 99 is for racism, okay? This is a game that's been played with us, man. And it's been played for hundreds of years. This is nothing new. All the information that all these truthers give you, you can take with a grain of salt, because half this information that we all get is really bullshit. I wouldn't even say half, I would say 99% of that shit is bullshit. Because and the last since the Gregorian calendar, which was established, I guess, in 1582. So since 1582, we have been living under a code, and this code is actually building history the way they want history to be. And so the Vatican plays a big role in it. Is all the Freemasonry thing, which they at the top of the food chain of Freemasonry. The Jews play a big role. The bankers like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, they all play a big role. So there's a big thing that's going on with gematria. So you really never know who's behind all of these rituals, because so many different fashions of the occult use these rituals. But the one guarantee is that it's being done and is irrefutable. So when I tell you that Black Lives Matter is just part of that same thing, trust me, it's part of the same thing. And when you do gematria, the way these people operate, when their numbers add up, I guess when these numbers add up to the way they need them, it really determines what organization you're going to be with. And Black Lives Matter so happen to be with the Jesuits. So, you can do your own investigation. I influence everybody to get on gematria, because my deprogram is really going to be about gematria, and you can use gematria to start deprogramming yourself. We need to be deprogrammed. Regardless to what you really want to think, you have been brainwashed. I know. Even pastors, rabbis, I know. A lot of them believe truly into what they're saying, and they'll bet their life on it. But trust me when I tell you, man, we've been brainwashed, and nobody really knows the truth about God. I was listening to another guy from the Vatican who's an astrologer as well, and he says that they never really found out the true explanation of God and what God really is. So anybody that can tell you that they really know, they're just telling you a lie, man. They're telling you a lie. The concept of God is just much more deeper than we've ever been told, and what is anything that got to do with religion. It's not a religion. So I'm telling you now, if you're black, you should reconsider Black Lives Matter movement until you're comfortable what the agenda is for the movement. You can't go around this place without using common sense. Common sense is mandatory. It is a mandatory thing. We all must have common sense. If we don't have common sense, then anything can be done to us, because we don't know. Actually, a person without common sense is considered a fool. So that's what most of us is for the system. We're fools for the system. And the sooner that we get our act together, and the sooner that we realize that and start caring for one another genuinely, we can't worry about colors. That was a method to fool us. That's why my songs say black problems got me wishing I was white. Because if I was white, I could better explain this to y'all, because for some reason black people don't like to listen to nothing that white people don't approve of, or that white people haven't told them. But the problem is that's what the brainwash is. Nobody, that's including the people who listening to me, you the person right now while you're listening, you don't need me to confirm none of your ideas, none of your thoughts, none of your reckoning. No way to feel the way you want to feel, because that is you. We are all individuals. Whenever we get ourselves bottled into Democrat or even Republican, liberal, socialist, whenever we get ourselves so deeply embedded into it, to where we expect other people to have these same exact ideas, then basically we're fooling ourselves and we're doing a real disservice to humanity. Now, if you really want to know what we need, is we need to shake down people that's in the Vatican, high up elites in these masonry positions, and have them release the secrets to technology and real spiritual guidance. Because for some odd reason, we're trapped into saying names that do not commute with the frequency that we need to be on while we're trying to commute with any kind of entity or deity. So my thing for y'all And all y'all Black Lives Matter movement people, if you want to drive yourself crazy, go right ahead. But please leave the people alone with it. The people don't care about it. The news is manufacturing all of this. You only see these crazy people on the news. Defunding the police is not a good idea. The crime rate has just skyrocketed. These are still black people getting killed. What a contradiction. So the same people that got you riding and picketing about the police killing you actually make the situation worse for black on black crime, which was already 100 times worse than police brutality. At what point do the black leaders that we have that's in the Democratic Party quit playing with a nation of people, guiding them to destruction? Now listen, I don't like to give out shouts too much because I really don't form my thoughts from people, but I do listen, like I said, and I always got to give shouts out to young Pharaoh because I admire the young dude because he's much younger than me. And research-wise, he's way deeper than me. Our concepts are basically the same. He'll do the research. I don't really have to do all this research. I'm so strongly guided by common sense, it doesn't make sense. When I research, I don't really try to jot down nothing. I get the research, I see where the lies can be at. And, so without us being exposed to the real technology, we'll never really know what is the lies and what is not the lies. And as long as they're governing the information, we'll never truly know the truth. But his theories and his approach is basically exactly like mine, but he has way more detail than me. He's hostile and I'm hostile. Even though I'm not coming to you hostile right now, but we're both hostile. But I do like to give shouts out to him because he's strong and basically he's a real leader. He's not really scared to tell you what he think. And nobody should be scared to tell a person what they think. And that even go for white people. So what y'all do is start opening up your brain and let people explore their own selves. And let's learn from each other. And how about let's put some real pressure on some people to expose us to some real technology. We don't have no business getting sick from these diseases. They're making us get sick. If you think anything else besides that, then you're ignorant and you're still brainwashed. It should be easy for you to realize this because none of this stuff can just happen. You guys like to deal in religion too much. This is why a lot of this stuff happened to you, because a lot of this stuff you're willing to put on God and the devil. But 90% of what's going on in reality is done by man. It's done by man. This history is wrote by man. These dates is wrote by man. So, get with your boy Snake P. We're going to help deprogram each other. Basically, we're going to have to do a lot of venting, a lot of stuff, get a lot of stress off your chest because you need to get the stress off your chest. The reason it's easy to shake this brainwash is because basically everything that irritates you is because it was part of the brainwash. The natural response is an irritant response. That's what they're doing. They're taking advantage of your emotions. That's why so when they geek people up to have a reason to tear stuff up, they do, because emotionally you be so brainwashed, you think that you're satisfying yourself. But you're not satisfying yourself. You're just putting yourself deeper and deeper into depression, man. Deeper into a depression. More and more negative energy, just piling the negativity on. Piling it on. Piling it on. Yeah, I can be mad at white people for the past, but why? I live for the future. I don't live for the past. I don't live for what happened yesterday. I live for tomorrow. And so I think we all should just wake up a little bit, start conversating with each other. Blacks conversating with whites, whites conversating with Chinese, Chinese conversating with Indians, Indians conversating with Arabs, Arabs conversating with Chaldeans, and so on, man. And everybody needs to start talking to each other and start shaking this brainwash. We're 99%. They can't stop us from doing it. They can't stop us from doing it. We're cursing ourselves by staying under this full control. One thing they showed you is what they taught you and was teaching you was nothing. The jobs that we was working was nothing.
People gonna act right. First thing you gotta live right. Take it back 600 years. First of all, let's get the town right.
That's that devil. You see that shit cut on like that? That's that devil. But first of all, they can't stop us, bro. They can do shit like that, though. They can fuck with this technology. But after a while, all you do is share that shit. So I think it's time for me to start recording. Get rid of the Black Lives Matter. Get rid of the Ku Klux Klan. Get rid of the church. Get rid of the Nation of Islam. Get rid of everybody. And let's start living life perfect. We don't have to do all this arguing, fighting, cussing, killing. They're making us do it. And they're making us do it to ourselves. How can we ever get to them if we're going to take each other out? It's a simple strategy. All right, bro. This is your boy, Snake Plisciano. I'm gonna call this the first deprogram since I'm a little comfortable on my setting. I'm missing a few pictures though, cause I got more pictures and shit coming, cause I'm starting to get comfortable with this shit, so I had to invest in it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of sitting in front of the computer fucking with my phone, so I got me a little mic, and I got me a camera, and I'm sitting on this big ass TV, and I sit back where I do my little puffery at. You know, I do that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got my little puffery here, my little coffee, and my squares, and like I said, I got my music cause I listen to myself. You know, I meditate. And you know what I'm saying? I research. So after I get off here, I'll be researching. So this is your boy, Snake P. It was nice talking to you. I'll holler at you.